Hello everybody and welcome back to BattleTech, where we are just about done with the first mission in this Flashpoint. We've taken a small amount of internal damage here and here, actually a fair amount there. We may want to look into subbing out our Grasshopper in the next mission, but I think this Orion will be fine. Although we do have a fresh one. We might want to use that. Now we're so currently full on heat with our Orion that I think we just walk behind this Cataphract and melee it. And sink some heat here.
Engaging physical attack.
Okay. Ooh. I was not expecting an ammo explosion there.
Critical damage detected.
So that's 2 pilot injuries right there. Interesting.
I'm receiving you.
We can just walk in over here with our Grasshopper, who just melee'd twice. So its heat is doing pretty well. And we can just alpha strike this guy on the weak side. Yeah, he is not doing too well.
Waiting for orders.
Our Jaeger, are we going to overheat here? Actually, no. We're going to be hitting on the weak side again. This guy's so dead. Dropship inbound, Commander. Do we actually have to go to the dropship? Well, we haven't occupied the facility, right? So let's occupy the facility.
On my way.
On my way.
There we go. Excellent work, Commander. Most excellent work indeed. The munitions factory is yours, and our trap has been set. Now all we need to do is sit back and wait.
Mission successful.
How long are we going to be waiting for, though? Do we get a repair cycle? Surely we don't get a repair cycle. We did get almost 600k for that, so that alone almost pays for our monthly costs. We did take a little bit of damage in this arm and in this arm, heavy on the little in this arm, to the point where this Orion is probably fine to redeploy. This Grasshopper, I think we should not redeploy unless we get to repair it. Ooh, a Black Knight part and a Cataphract part. This will get us both a completed Black Knight and a completed Cataphract. Oh. Neither of those really fit into the missile boat role, but a 75-tonner in the Brawler and Ranged Assault, or a 70-tonner in the Brawler and Close Assault. We'll have to look into it. We may replace some of our existing mechs there. Priority contracts? This isn't campaign mode, this is career mode. I don't know what you're talking about. We call the Cataphract a Franken-mech because it's got a little bit of everything stitched together on it. The 1X model works well at medium-long to closer range, with good armor and weaponry. The Black Knight 6KNT is a dedicated energy weapon platform. It can shell out hellish damage with its beams and shrug off a lot of damage. Just gotta make sure to keep its heat in check. Extracurricular activities 2, High Orbit, Brockway. Well, that seemed to go well enough. Now all we have to do is sit on the factory until Lord Jesper shows up. Yeah. About that. Mehui, we have a problem. I just got off the comm with a man by the name of Miguel Zapata. He's sort of a community organizer for the inhabitants of this valley. What inhabitants? I don't see any towns or villages around here. Well, that's the thing. As it turns out, this whole AO is densely populated. There's an expansive network of subterranean habitations and tunnels surrounding the munitions factory, and they weren't built to support the weight of a lance of battle mechs. Yikes. Are the inhabitants okay? More or less, for the time being at least. Most of the locals rode out in the fight in an old bunker, but it won't survive any more collateral damage. These people won't make it through another fight, but they can't run without our help. The whole valley is surrounded by bandit camps and outriders, and they'll do unspeakable things to any unarmed civvies that try to make a run through their territory. Not gonna lie, boss, the thought of a bunch of regular folks getting killed over some aristocrat's stupid-ass political prank makes my blood boil. If Stieglitz Bradford were here right now, I'd give him the back of my metal hand. Good thing he isn't here, then. He's still our client, Yang. Client or no, his juvenile ploy has put a lot of civilians in harm's way. And as much as I hate to say it, we've helped him do it. We have a responsibility to escort those people to safety, Commander. It's the right thing to do. I'm as enthusiastic about charity as anyone else, but we're already on contract to do another combat mission for House Steiner. If we help the locals, we'll be putting our own people and battle mechs at risk for nothing. Hell, it's worse than that. We'll be devaluing our services in front of a client. I'm assuming that this Zapata guy can't pay us anything? Not as such, no. Most of the locals' belongings are buried in a pile of rubble. There's one other wrinkle to consider before you come to a decision. If we leave the AO to help those people, we won't have time to return to the Argo for repairs afterward. Win or lose, we'll have to march, or limp, right back to the factory to fight Lord Jesper's lance. Wonderful. Yeah, I know, but that's the situation we're in. Anyway, Meihui, there are good reasons to help these people and good reasons not to. We still do have another contract to finish for House Steiner. That doesn't change, whatever you choose. So do we help Zapata and his people, or not? Okay, so... We're not going to get time after helping the locals to repair, right? I wasn't expecting time to repair before this next fight anyway. And we're going to get that before we help the locals, right? That would give us more salvage opportunities, maybe some small amount of payment, probably not much. We'll make it harder on ourselves. We'll help the locals. What could go wrong? Roger that, Commander. I'll let him know. Are we immediately deploying? We are not immediately deploying. Okay. Good. Let's go ahead and do some work here. We need to repair our Grasshopper as the top priority. That will take 1 day. We need to repair our Orion as the next priority. That will take 1 day. Next, this Cataphract. Now that's a 70-tonner. I feel like that might take that position right there. The Black Knight is a 75-tonner and will almost certainly take that position. So we're looking at something kind of like this right now, where we don't really have a close-in support, or rather a close-in brawler for this lance, and we're missing 2 missile boats. That said, as the direct fire support, this Black Knight is an upgrade over our existing Jaeger. So we can do that. And then we can go ahead and refit this guy. With what, exactly? This is a dedicated energy weapon platform. We could have, like, dual large lasers, potentially 18 heat, or we could have dual PPCs on here, 35 heat. They do 20 stab damage, which is super nice. We have 31.5 tons remaining. I think we don't need to worry too much about armor on this Black Knight, and instead we just give it, like, dual PPCs. Like so. How much do large lasers weigh? Large lasers weigh 5 tons. So we could have, like, dual PPC, dual large laser, and have no heat efficiency to speak of, and then put on some heat sinks. Like so. We're gonna need more heat sinks than this. We're gonna need a lot more heat sinks. Realistically, I mean, I like the firepower in this. We could have quad large lasers, potentially, and just go pure for that precise damage. What's the weight differential between a PPC? A PPC weighs 7 tons, so we would save 4 total tons, as well as a lot of heat generation by going for quad large laser. Like that. And then that would allow us to put on another 4 heat sinks. We would need to buy 2 more heat sinks? Oh my. Okay, I'm not used to having to buy heat sinks. Okay,
New equipment available.
we'll buy a total of 4, I think.
New equipment available.
There we go. So something kind of like this. So what is our actual heat generation versus heat sinking? We sink 63 heat, we alpha 72 heat. That's not bad, actually. That's not bad at all, realistically. That's pretty good. And then we can just go ahead and distribute the remaining tonnage to frontal armor. About like that. So, I mean, realistically, the alpha strike damage of this thing is 160, which is a lot. Especially considering, theoretically, you can do a called shot into a center torso and one-shot a lot of mechs with those large lasers. Especially if it's been softened up a little bit with missiles. So I think that's kind of the plan here. We'll go ahead and confirm that on the Black Knight, and that's going to become...
I'll let you know when that's done.
Where's our Black Knight?
Welcome to the grease pit, Commander.
There it is. Okay, it was just invisible. So that's essentially going to become our new Jaeger mech. We're going to be losing the AC-2s, but realistically, our damage will be slightly increasing. We will not be reliant on ammunition. We're going to have some small heat issues, but realistically, we should be able to just turn off a single large laser and sink a little heat, and then alternate between 3 and 4 large lasers. And that should be okay. Now, as far as this cataphract goes, we'll need to do that as well. And we are going to need to put on here some close-in weaponry. Now, this does have 2 support slots. So I think we go ahead and place on a couple of small lasers. Do we not have any? Did we use all of our small lasers? I think we did. Are there any in the store? There aren't. Maybe we put on machine guns, or maybe we just don't have that. Like, realistically, we can just stack on the medium lasers and then put on, like, an AC-10, perhaps? And then, like, 1 ton of AC-10 ammo. How many rounds would that be? That would be 8 rounds. So we'd probably want 2 tons of AC-10 ammo. Kind of like that. Okay. We do have that Gauss rifle. I don't want to put that on a brawler, though. So yeah, I think an AC-10, and then deck it out with medium lasers, but we should max out the armor first, before we do that. Or as close as we can, and have a round number for our remaining tonnage. Let's go ahead and do all of this. And then we can put in some extra medium lasers and potentially SRMs. This doesn't have any missile slots, so no SRMs. I'm going to go ahead and ditch a... We're going to need to ditch nearly a full ton of armor here. That brings us up to 9.5 tons. Do we have a half-ton thing here? And we've got the arm mod. I mean, I suppose we could put on... Yeah, we don't really have anything that's half a ton. Ammo doesn't come in half-ton increments in this game, which is a bit unfortunate. We can go ahead and put on, like, several medium lasers. Fill out all of our weapon hardpoints here. Then we could put like a machine gun. And then how much MG ammo is this? 200 rounds? That should be plenty. So, these use 5 rounds every time you shoot, right? I think so. So, if it uses 5 rounds when you shoot with it, then we would have 200 divided by 5 would be 40 rounds. No worries about that. We've got 4 tons remaining. We definitely need some heat sinks in this baby. Which means we need additional heat sinks. As, you know, usual. Let's go ahead and buy 2 more heat sinks.
Available.
And we'll slot these on in here. Now, our heat efficiency on this is pretty low, it bears noting. How much heat does the AC-10 generate? 12? Which is the same amount as a medium laser. Oh, we have a jump jet in here? Why do we have a jump jet? There we go. We'll put this heat sink on. That's better. 42 heat and 72 heat. So we're 30 heat apart. So realistically, that's 3 of our 5 medium lasers. I would love to have 1 more ton. We could ditch the machine gun. Put 1 more heat sink into this thing.
New equipment available.
Place it right here in the head. And then put on that extra half ton of armor. I mean, we're going to be a little bit short, I think, in terms of our weight. 0.19 tons. But I like that a little bit better. We have the extra heat sink. We have slightly better armor. Yeah, I mean, we're still 27 heat apart. Maybe we should go down to an AC-5. An AC-5 would save us quite a lot of weight. How much ammo is a single ton of AC-5 ammo? 15 rounds. A single ton should be sufficient. That lowers our number of critical slots devoted to ammo substantially, and allows us to put on up to 5 additional heat sinks. Potentially an arm mod. Yeah, I think we would just go ahead and grab 1,
New equipment
2,
available.
3, 4, 5.
New equipment available.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that. And now we are way more heat efficient. We have a little bit less firepower, but realistically, the AC-5, it does have a minimum range of 90 meters, so we're going to have to keep that in mind, but that's fine. Its optimal is 360, which is longer range than the medium laser, to be sure. But this thing is so much more heat efficient. I think we'll go ahead and confirm that.
Logged and noted.
So this will all be finished in 14 days. Now, we don't actually need all of this ready to go. We need the Black Knight ready to go. But I think we can go ahead and tick forward as much as we want at this stage. So I think we do tick forward the 14 days. However, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we will finish up this Well, no, we're not going to finish it next episode. We're going to continue the Flashpoint because we added an extra mission. So we're going to be continuing the Flashpoint. See you all then.